Now let's move forward, and we have already computed, and also we already worked with an addition function, add 1. Now we can create different functions. For example, we can create a function that multiplies two numbers. The numbers will be represented by the variables a and b. So the variable could be anything like x and y. Define a function, so hash define a function for multiple two numbers. Okay, so define mult, which will be used for multiplication, a comma b. These are the two input parameters. Then semicolon, it means that we are now going to write the body of the function with an indent. So c is equals to a static b. So we have defined another variable c, and we say that it's a static b and return c. Okay, so you have to run it. So the function is now being saved in the memory, local memory, or in the RAM of the system. So it knows that now mult 2 3. So if you run mult 2 3, so 6 is the value. Okay, so now using the mult, we will be working with two floats, execution, and this is 31.4000. So the beauty of Python compared to C or other languages is that if you use variables like a, b, and c in different languages like C or C++, you have to explicitly express that either they are integers or they are like floats, what are the type of the variable. Here we don't, the Python gives us the freedom. We just simply put 2 3 and it gives us 6, and if we say 2 and 3.2, so it will simply execute on 6.4. So this is one of the flexibility offered by the Python. So we can even replicate a string by multiplying with an integer. So for example, mult2 and Michael Jackson. So if you run it, you will get 2 times Michael Jackson. Like this is Michael Jackson, 2 multiplied by Michael Jackson, and it will replicate Michael Jackson 2 times. Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson. If I say like 10 times, let's try 10 times. 10 times. So this is the beauty of Python and the programming. So if you learn programming, you will be able to do wonders, believe me. Okay, now moving forward with variables. Variables, the input to a function is called a formal parameter. Whatever the input of the function, this is the formal parameter. Okay, now work with the variables. So there are different types of variables. Few are called local variables and global variables. So instead going to the theory, I will directly put you guys to the example. The function definition defines square a. So this is a function that will calculate the square of a number, hash local variable b. So b variable is local variable. Why it's local variable? Because it is used inside the function, it is used inside the definition. So a variable is a global variable. Let's say I say x is equals to 15 randomly. So this is now global variable because it can be used anytime, anywhere within the function, within this function even, and outside the function. But if I want to call b outside this function, this will give me an error. So this is simpler definition. Then b is equals to 1 and c is equals to a static a plus b. This is an operation. So it multiplies the parameter a into a plus b, which is 1. So it means it takes the square and add 1 to the square, and it will print a, whatever the a is. If you square plus 1, it will give you c and return c. Okay, so the function is stored in the local memory. How it's work: define, this is the name square and this is the parameter a, and then you say that c is equals to 1. This is basically here b is equals to 1, so this is a mistake over here. And then you can even change it. You can say let's c is equals to 1, and then you say b is equals to a static a plus c. You can change it, b is equals to a static a plus c. Okay, so if you print a, if you square this plus this is equals to b. So now output is b. A, if you square this, so output is b, and you can change here b as well. So just to make sure that the two are coherent, the diagram, flow diagram, and this thing. So the figure explicitly explain the code beautifully. So that's why we also tell you guys to use the figures for your projects, because it explicitly tell the naive readers that how to tackle the issue. and what's going on. So this is the function definition, and main program is now let's move forward. X is equals to 2, z is equal to x square. So now work here, x is equals to 3. So here I have identified x is equal, let's remove it, and now there's a global variable. So now here c and b are the local variables because they are used inside the function, and x is the global variable because you can use the x at any time anywhere outside the function as well. So x is equals to 3, y is equals to, or z is equals to, let's use it according to this figure. So z is equals to square of x, so whatever the value of x, which is 3, and then return c. Okay, so we have used return b over here, it will use. So let's execute this function using the Python tutor. So go and edit the code, you remove it. Okay, so this is the main function, this is the definition of function definition, and this is the main function over here. Initialize, go control C, control V over here, and then visualize it. So define a function square next, so it will directly jump outside the function as I told you guys previously. X is equals to 3, so x is equals to 3, it is used as a global variable. Now z is equals to square of x. Okay, so square function is called, so it will directly go to the function. See, it went back, and whatever the x value is, which is 3, it is taken as a is equals to 3. See, then local variable b, here local variable b and c both, c is equals to 1 and b is equals to 10, because this is a is 3, so 3 into 3, which is 9, plus c, which is equals to 1, so 9 plus 1 is equals to 10. Print this thing, so it has print 3 if you square, plus 1, which is equals to 10, and then return b. So what is the value of b? So b is 10, so it will return 10. Okay, the function will return 10. Okay, now see, whatever it has stored return b as z because z called the function, so output is stored in the variable z, and next z is equals to 10. I hope you guys got it, and it's very good to practice it, especially in the Python tutor, because if you don't practice and just watch it down, it will never make sense. Directly enter a number as parameter, so instead of like defining in this way, you just say square 2. Okay, and it will say 2 if you square plus 1, so 2 into 2 is 4 plus 1, which is 5, so this will give you 5. So I say like square 100 if you square plus 1, 100, 1000, and unit 10, 100,000, 10,001, and output is 10,001. If there is no return statement, the function returns none. The following two functions are equivalent. For example, if you don't return, so here we returned the value b, so there was an output, and if you don't return, if you don't put the return statement, it will return none, means the function will not store anything. It will just print it out this thing, but it will never store the value. For example, with return, both the functions are equivalent. Define mj and with no parameter and print simply Michael Jackson. Then define mj1, print this thing and return none. Both are same. See mj, it will give me Michael Jackson because it only prints the Michael Jackson, and here mj1 Michael Jackson. So if you want to visualize it, control C, edit, control V. Okay, so visualize it, define and nothing, because it does not return anything. Here there is no definition return, and here there is return is none, so it is not giving me any output. Over here in the virtual classroom, it just print out Michael Jackson because it goes line by line here in the virtual classroom. So printing the function after a call reveals a none is the default return statement. So this thing, so it will return none and none. So print mj, so you are going to print mj, it will simply give me Michael Jackson none, Michael Jackson none. Printing the function after a call reveals none, so it will give me none because you did not return any value. Create a function to concatenate. Create a function to concatenate that concatenates two strings using the addition operation. For example, I will define a function, define concatenate a comma b, whatever the two parameters passed to you, just add them, return a plus b. Okay, so it's stored in the local memory, and I say concatenate this is, so this has been concatenated. If I say, let's suppose concatenate my name, and I say this thing, so it will concatenate two variables. So if I say concatenate 2 and 3, so it knows that you have to add it. So if I say concatenate 2 and 3.5, 5.5. okay, so I hope you got it. So now move towards the blocks and other concepts of the functions in the next part. Thank you.